Hi everyone, welcome to AP Physics 1. My name is Mr. Watkins. You can find me in room 902. My email is nwatkins@fpschools.org. All right, a little bit about this course. In AP Physics 1, we are going to be going over 10 different units. Keep in mind, AP Physics 1 is just part of the AP Physics curriculum. There's also AP Physics 2, AP Physics C, but really what AP Physics 1 is essentially that first physics course you would take as a freshman in college if you were to take a college physics class. In this year, with it being remote, it's going to be a little bit funky because we're going to be doing both asynchronous and synchronous learning, which means that half the day you're going to be in my class learning on the computer with me and some of your other classmates. And the other part of the day, you guys are going to be doing some independent work, which I'll be assigning to you through Canvas. We're going to be splitting this group up into two cohorts, so you'll get to know your cohort pretty well. In general, your cohort should be arranged by the first letter of your last name. A couple things that you guys will need to be successful in this course. I highly recommend, actually you guys require a notebook. Again, I'm trying to make sure that these composition notebooks are distributed to all students, but really you can use any type of notebook that you see fit. But I suggest a notebook that's all bound together instead of just doing a bunch of random sheets, just because in any AP course, especially AP science courses, some colleges will require you to be keeping a lab book, and technically they say that they can check it, but I don't really think so, but really it's just your own benefit to have one, to have all your notes and practice problems all in one place. One other thing that we'll try to provide you guys is the college physics textbook. Again, this is just a good resource. It's pretty advanced, but I think as we kind of go through our different units, we kind of do our collaborative learning together, you'll be able to access the content that's in this book. There's also a lot of good practice problems in here that will just better help you understand the content that we're learning. I'll talk a little bit more about this at the end. There are many other supplemental materials you can get to help you be successful in this course, but more importantly, successful in the AP exam. The AP Physics 1 exam happens probably sometime in May. Whether it's online or in person kind of remains to be seen based on COVID, but some things that you can purchase to be successful, help yourself in addition to what we're doing in this class. I highly suggest the book 5 Steps to a 5 for AP Physics 1. There are plenty of other resources that you can get. There's Barron's, which is okay. They have some practice tests in them, which is always helpful. Again, I'll talk about a few more at the end. All right, we're going to spend some time kind of breaking down the 10 units that we'll be going through over these next 2 semesters. In Unit 0, we're going to be focusing on your requisite math skills that you'll need to be successful in this class. We're talking about math skills. This is going to be a few lessons. Really just make sure that you guys understand your significant figures, you guys understand units, how to do conversions, dimensional analysis, etc. All right, Unit 1 is all about kinematics, and this is actually our most important unit because if you really don't understand kinematics, it's going to be very difficult to be successful in AP Physics. Luckily for you guys, in terms of the math skills or just really any skills that you guys need, it's a pretty low bar. It's just going to be a matter of changing how you guys think. It's very logic-based. We're going to be talking a lot about objects' position, velocity, acceleration, really just motion in general, how to understand how objects move through space. In Unit 2, we're talking about dynamics, which is really just how do things move. And there are many different forces that cause things to move, whether we're talking about applied forces, gravity, electric charges, etc. So really, this is going to be our opportunity to understand these systems of how they interact with objects to make them move. In Unit 3, we're focusing on circular motion and gravitation, right? We want to understand why are we rotating around the sun instead of going directly into it or just flying off in a straight line. We'll also look at things like centripetal acceleration, centripetal force, right? You think about when you're going around a sharp curve, why are you kind of pulled to one side instead of just kind of remaining stationary in your car? This is going to be our opportunity to really better understand those types of dynamics. Unit 4 is all about energy. In order to actually cause an object to move position, you need to introduce energy into it. We're going to talk a lot about the conservation of energy, different forms of energy, how we can convert energy to different forms. We're going to just spend a lot of time talking about potential, kinetic, thermal, etc., different forms of energy. Unit 5, our focus is on momentum. We want to look about how does energy and motion change when we have collisions, whether that's collisions between two different objects, collision between an object and some sort of frictional force on the ground, where it's a baseball and a baseball bat, right? We want to see how do these changes in motion affect the nature of the motion of these objects that are involved in the system. In Unit 6, we're going to be looking at simple harmonic motion. So really this is looking at springs and pendulums. We really want to just understand the characteristics of the motion of a system that's undergoing oscillatory motion that's caused by some sort of restoring force, whether that's the gravity of a pendulum or a spring. Again, just kind of seeing all the different automotives and technology that use pendulums and springs to actually keep their motion going. All right, Unit 7 is all about torque, right? This is where we're really seeing the relationship between force and distance. You think about why are door handles at the very edge of the door instead of just right in the middle. Think about why is it easier to move a really heavy object when you use a large stick that has a lot of leverage. Torque is going to be our focus in this unit. All right, Units 8 and 9 are really kind of one and the same. We're looking at electric charges, so kind of that force that happens between atoms and kind of keep them together. You think about why don't we go through the floor? Simply because of these electric charges and that attraction between atoms. We want to use that understanding to better understand electricity itself. So kind of looking at circuits, different types of circuits, series circuits, parallel circuits, etc., and just understand our modern technology in this sense. All right, Unit 10, we're going to be focusing on waves and sound. Again, right now I'm using sound waves to communicate my message to you guys. Waves all kind of behave similarly, but they come in many different forms. So we're going to spend some time really just understanding the nature of waves and how they behave. Finally, some additional resources for you guys. You guys should all be receiving or at least have access to the college physics textbook, which we'll be using as a resource to kind of read and get some of that content. A couple other things that you guys can purchase on your own if you choose to that will help you be successful on the AP test. Main one I really recommend is the 5 Steps to a 5 for AP Physics 1. This kind of gives you some daily tasks, some daily questions, some practice tests, etc. There's also the Cartoon Guide to Physics, which is more of a fun, interactive way to better understand the content that we're learning. Again, if you really want to supplement what we're doing online already, you can use Khan Academy. Khan Academy is just a great online free resource that has these tutorial videos and a bunch of questions and articles that are pretty thorough. And by going through that, it'll really just help you develop an even stronger foundation to prepare you for the AP test.